Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to Genshin Impact. Sounds like a Japanese name, made by a company called MiHoYo, which sounds like a Japanese company, but I hear it's actually Chinese, so there you go. Maybe it's a local branch. A lot of the characters feel like they're from Chinese mythology, which is not all that surprising coming from an Eastern RPG. And this is really a game that has, I would say, taken me by surprise, but instead I'll say that it's boiled down a lot of the things that I really enjoyed about games like Warframe, and from way back in the day, a game called Dream of Mirror Online, which is one of a bevy of Korean RPGs that has that very Eastern flavor ported over for a Western audience. But this is a gacha game, and it wants your money bad, and gambling is the name of the monetization scheme for this game. So, keep that in mind. Excuse me. But I'm through the first act of the story. I probably have about 30 hours in the game or so. And I'm very happy with the number of characters that I have. Let's see what I got here. Getting some more premium currency, just because the game loves me having that so much right now. At one point, they're gonna shut off all of that premium currency cash flow that I've been having. They're building in me this habit of just popping into the store and buying cash shop items without even thinking about it. What's this? Okay, we got another level of the old advent calendar. Is that it? No, we just completed another mission. Let's see. But that might get us. Yes, it does. Next level. So this is the battle pass. There's a free version and a pay version. And there we go. Some nice little, those are basically experience. Okay, pretty useless, but better than nothing. So, as I mentioned, I'm through a good part of the story, but I've just been going around doing little side quests. This game just came out and it is free to play, so you don't have to worry about the Black Desert Online pay scheme where you pay for the game and then what you get is basically a cash shop free to play style monetization scheme. Now this is pretty upfront right from the beginning. They really want to make a cash cow out of you. When I started this game, I took an entrance survey, and one of the questions was, how much have you spent on video games in the last 6 months? And I figure $100 to $200 was my bracket, and that was the second choice. The top end was $2,000 to $5,000. So there you go. That's their target audience right there. This game will suck the money out of you rapidly if you start paying for things, but I haven't paid for anything. And the only thing I really care about is the characters. I say that, but you need like weapons and gear too. But I've been playing totally for free, and this is what I have so far. And I'm really happy with all of these characters. You can see that I've put some levels on the ones that I like. And that's a boy. And that's a pretty good character too. Anyway, let's go to one of our missions. Now that I've warned you all that this is a game that will attempt to aggressively suck the money out of you, and I've told you that you don't have to pay for things, at least for a good amount of entertainment. And I'll get into why this game is really relaxing and enjoyable and sort of nostalgic for me, and why I really think that it's worth your attention if you're not going to be tempted to spend a lot of money on it. Because this is a great example of a very, very well crafted game. This game is just oozing with polish. It's beautiful. I don't know if you can hear the delightful background music right now, but it is just mwah. And there's so much just well done art. The UI in this game is a feast for the eyes. There's so much stuff going on in this game. And let's just grab a quest. So let's see what this is. Let's just find out what's going on here. So we'll go to our map, and you can see we've actually explored most of the world here and unlocked a lot of what the world has to offer. There's a few places that I'm not ready for yet, and I'll just have to do more playing the game to get to the point where those things are unlocked. But we've got a good handle on the world so far. So having said that, where's this quest? Is it here? I see something there. What is this? Yeah, let's go there. Excuse me, I'm still a little bit phlegmy after my brush with death. I had just a super annoying chest cold, and I'm very susceptible to those, by the way. Like, my sinuses are a nightmare on the best of days, so if there's anything that can like go into my copious, spacious, and poorly defended sinuses and then set up shop and just kind of like kick my ass, it does. So that's ow, speaking of kicking my ass, you are a mean person. You are not welcome in my establishment, sir. And by the way, I don't appreciate the fact that you're hiding behind a shield. This is a no shield zone. So this is the combat of, excuse me, as I reposition myself here clumsily. But this is the combat in Genshin Impact. This is a pretty good example of how I play the game, which is to switch between characters fairly often. You have a party of 4, and each of their abilities are on a cooldown. They have basically 2 abilities outside of their regular attacks, a light attack or a charge attack. But their abilities, let's see, yeah, one more roadblock. I've already done a little bit of progress on this quest, just by happenstance, because I was in the area. But anyway, you can see they have an E ability down at the bottom right, and that is their elemental ability. And then they have a Q ability, which is the elemental burst. And by dealing damage to enemies, you earn points toward the elemental burst, which is basically your super attack or whatever. And for this character, this is the best character in the game, by the way, Noelle. She's delightful, she's a dutiful maid, and before I had 3 kids and was a stay-at-home daddy, I didn't understand the value of a maid. But my house is a nightmare, and the real fantasy is not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It's somebody that cleans up after your kids that's not you. So... but she also wears heavy armor and hits enemies with large blunt objects, so you just gotta love that. She's the typical defensive style character, but in this game a strong defense can be used as a solid offense. You can see we got these little wings of flight going on here. We got all kinds of fun stuff going on, but I just want to show you some gameplay and enjoy the game together with you. And it's a lot harder to play while talking. So if I talk kind of dumb or play kind of dumb, you just gotta understand that, like, man was not meant to MMO and mic at the same time. Like, this is just holding a conversation while trying to be useful in a game. You already know that. You've watched me play War Thunder, but again, this is new to me. This is my first video on Genshin Impact, and now is when I'm going to keep my promise and tell you about why this game is just loads of fun, even when, and I guarantee it will happen, they throttle down my progress on unlocking characters and being able to meet the power requirements of the story, and everything gets a whole lot like 50 times more grindy, why is this game still going to be fun? First off, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. I'm talking about what's behind my character, by the way. The third-person camera, I only have so much control. I'm looking around, and, like, every now and then you gotta go, like, up in this kind of angle, and it's like, hold on, this is not... I'm looking at the mountaintops, okay? And not the valleys down below. But anyway,
I'll catch up.
this game is gorgeous. The music is delightful. Like, it's naturally relaxing. It stimulates your senses just enough, like a gentle massage on your eyeballs. And it's so tempting to just sink into this game, as I've done, and disappear for like 4 days. So that's what I already did, and that's what brought me to this point in the game. And every time I play a game that I really enjoy, this is what happens. Like, I'm super passionate about War Thunder and a few other games, but this one showed up, and I just stopped being a human being for a while, and I just had to play it. So we're doing this quest. This is just, it's totally pointless. Okay, yeah. We knocked down some barricades. Is the quest over yet? Quest over. Okay. Time to do a new quest. Like, we've unlocked all kinds of quests here, and I've just been skipping through them because I wanted to focus on exploring the world, and the world is just so delightful to explore. And that's part of the point that I was making before. Lushua landscape. Vermeer artist. Oh. Is that the one where we gotta find his tools? Okay, let's go to this one instead. I think we have to leave first. So the world is just delightful. It's beautiful. It's reasonably expansive. And yet not in a Bethesda way, where that means it's jank and loosely organized. There's just stuff everywhere in this game. And there are places, and then there are the in-between places, and all of those locations are littered with things to do, even after you've explored everything. You can go over again, you can find new resources, you can find new chests and treasures and challenges and all kinds of neat stuff, but it happens at a regular pace. Basically, you can run around this world and just go. This is one of those games where you could, if you were that kind of person, decide to go the whole no fast travel route and just really embrace the world for what it is. It's beautifully crafted. I've covered most of the areas that are accessible at this point in the game's development, and this, I feel, is a game that will continue to be developed because I really see this game doing well. If you hadn't noticed yet, the similarities to games like with the climbing and everything, and games like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Imagine the Breath of the Wild game with actually loads of playable characters. Downside, you have to grind, and there's that whole throttling deal that's going to happen to me, I'm sure. I'll have a totally different story for you after the brakes get put on all these little goodies that the game's been giving me, and I'm not entirely sure I'm going to get to the top of this mountain before my stamina runs out, where we're just going to roll with it, okay, because we got things to do. But this also reminds me of the latest Assassin's Creed games and everything by that one French company that I can't remember the name of right now. It's basically the French version of Bethesda. But Ubisoft, that's right. Anyway, Ubisoft. That's a name that exists. Ubisoft. But, ooh, look, a treasure chest. Let's go ahead and pounce on it. What's this? Notices your treasure chest. Oh, it's protected by vines. Well, we have a way of dealing with that as soon as I get my one fire user into the party. If you oh, do I have another fire user now? No, I don't have him yet. I gotta gacha unlock him via the cash shop, so that might take a while. I don't have a whole lot of pyro in this party, and that can be... Okay, we got it. Common chest. That's okay. Even a common chest has precious treasure inside. So let's swap out this useless fire user and go back to this feller here. He's good. He's real good. Like, he is a character. Oh, I'm getting sidetracked, aren't I? So this has a lot of similarities to games that have been very popular and just sort of immersive, but it's a lot more out there with its monetization. It doesn't try to sell you a game for $60 and then sell you more. It's that I mean, it kind of like, this is the world we live in, right? Where you talk about a game that literally tries to program people to become compulsive gamblers, and not even for like reasonable return on investment like you would get with blackjack. But yeah, okay, let's not talk about gambling addictions here, shall we? But it's so exploitative. What am I supposed to do? Get invoices. I don't see any invoices. Do I look like the kind of person that would receive an invoice from somewhere? A box. Alright, let's see what we gotta do here. How many times do I have to kick you before you hand over the quest item? Alrighty. Excuse me, what do I have to do now? Talk to Bayo Air. So I still have to get the invoices, and then I have to talk to Bayo Air. I hope one of you was actually reading that conversation, because I was not. So, I suppose we have some more sleuthing to do, Boy Scouts. So, let's go sleuth. Here's one of the reasons Venti is cool. He's the only person so far that I've noticed with this ability to create a wind current through one of his special abilities. It basically gives him a little boost to use the gliding wings that everybody has access to. Again, this is the gacha version of that one Legend of Zelda game. Anyway, interesting thought. What if Nintendo made Breath of the Wild, but it wasn't a Zelda game? Huh? You ever think of that? What if? Well, this is what MiHoYo made, and I really like it. I've just been enjoying it. I don't like the way that they've chosen to monetize the game, but at the same time, it seems like they really have done a fantastic job of polishing this game and actually putting a reasonable amount of effort into it. It's just a very nicely crafted product, and what it does is just designed to make you feel good. And again, there is that part of it that's made to teach you to spend money, and at the same time, I've just committed to not spending any money on this game, and I've really been enjoying it. And I think that if you're a reasonable person and you make that commitment, then it's not going to be a problem for you. But I can't really speak for you, I'll speak for myself. And we've got some swimming to do. I'm not sure if this is the fastest way to get 100 meters over to that there. How do we even know? How did we discern that invoice had gone to that particular location? Perhaps it was hidden somewhere in that page of dialogue that I skipped through. But did I mention that this is a Asian RPG, and thus the wall of text attacketh to hold at bay the Mongol hordes, but it finds itself no match for my trusty left-clicking finger and we done gunslingered our way through that whole conversation before we could get any the wiser. Now I know that I can use fire magic on that there flower and make it into something harvestable, and I suspect that I could use water or frost on that there flower to make it harvestable, and I am gonna find out if that's there. Actually, no, never mind. We'll do the fire, we'll do the frost, but we don't have our water person right now on account of they're engaged in super important business elsewhere, grinding low quality materials for me. Let's bring out someone that can deal with these here slimy blobbies the way nature intended, with harsh acts of violence at point blank range. And Kaya, definitely a man's name. And E. Did it work? It did indeed. We've done it. We discovered so flower stamen. That's its manly bits. Are we gonna have to re-educate these these gobos? Well, she's pretty good against low-level monsters. Not that anybody wouldn't be, but it does feel nice to just kind of left-click until things fly to pieces, I must say. And I'm not really sure how this ultimate attack or the elemental burst for her works. Well, this character also, by the way, when she has the shields up, red alert, when she hits enemies with melee attacks, she has a pretty good chance of healing all of your teammates for a certain amount of damage, so that's pretty neat. A healer that whacks people with a large blunt object. She's she's chonky. That's my little daughter. That's exactly the way she is. Aggression, strength, and nurturing, all in the same package. Don't question it, don't fight it, just enjoy that beautiful little woman for what she is. Okay, we got the documents. We somehow knew they would be in the dankest area of this place. So let's see if we can't do a little bit of fast travel shenanigans. Yes, we can, to get to that place a little more expeditiously. So, I mean, thanks for joining me for this very simple quest. It's super late at night, which is the only reason why it's actually quiet in here, other than the atrocious noise from my fridge, which has got to be slurping down our power bill. Our electricity bill is pretty ridiculous, but energy efficiency is not the name of the game here, with all these computers running and what we got, 2 freezers and a fridge going all the time. Ooh. Side quest time. So I talked about all the interesting stuff you can find in the map. There's something shiny up there, and I want to grab it. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just gonna hippity hop my way on up this here cliff face. Hippity hopping on nimbly bimbly. Maybe we can take a rest over here. I learned I can press the X button to fall. There we go. Just gotta recover some staminars, and might as well fix my party setup while I'm here. Let's swap out. Let's see, that was a fire flower, but we might actually be able to use that. So we'll swap in Venti just for 20 minutes or so. And this joke, it's Italian, Venti is 20. Anyway. This is gonna take some time. So like, I teleported over here to save myself some time, and here I am getting sidetracked. So what is it that I'm going after? There's these things called animunculus, which is basically a little gem thing that I can trade in at these anima statues. Anima as in breath, by the way. It's the wind element in this world is called anima. I guess hot breath is a little bit less exciting than the Greek translation. So, where is it? Somewhere around here. Should we use our detective vision? Let's see if we can't. I have like never found anything using this special vision, but you can use it. That's the thing you can do. So I guess I'll just get up here. It's like, if it is up on top of one of these mountains, it's better to be on top of the mountain, even if it's not there, than to be at the bottom of the mountain and find out that you needed to be at the top of the mountain. You know what? Let's do this the fun way. Just because we can. A mega boost! Speedrun strats, people. Speedruns. So here we are, standing on top of the world and looking around. We look up and I don't see any little glowy jobber. So it must be below us, right? But let's grab that flower while we're here. Oh, and the great flower. Did I destroy the flower? Oh no, I obtained it. Okay, cool.
Here we go. Time for takeoff.
Okay, Kaplowy. Nice. Okay, and a chest is ours. That was a sidetrack to a sidetrack, and herein you see just the enjoyableness of this game. All this stuff we're picking up can actually be used for things even later on in the game, so nothing is wasted. It's the Native American approach to loot. We use the whole loot table in this house. I still don't see it. There it is. Okay, this is actually a geomunculus, my bad, but I forgot what region we're in. Kablammy. So, let's go get those papers. I might have put myself in a somewhat disadvantageous position on account of going after that geomunculus, but we got ourselves a shiny rock, and that fact I will not knock. So, here's another little collectible. Look at how populated. This is just a random part of the world. It's just so populated with little things to do. With just a few seconds in between as sort of a palate cleanser. What? I didn't mean to do that. In between the adventures, the tiny adventures you have on the road to this epic, fantastical journey that is entirely encouraged to become one of the defining features of your life and your budget. Let's pull up that healing wall, and then big sword mode. Yeah, come on, big sword mode. Yeah, there we go. This is her elemental burst. It is glorious in our eyes. And there you have it. Best character in the game. I'm sure you'll agree, and if you don't, that's okay. It's important for other people to be wrong sometimes, just to prove me how right I am. So, we're looking for papers again. Papers, please. Glory to Aristotska. And once I finish up this quest, I think that'll be a good point to call it for the... Wait a second. I've got 2 of those things, and I need to get a 3rd. Oh. I have to give her Noctoculus Jades. Okay, whatevs. I got tons of those. Yeah, thanks for the salvage, buddy. Okay, you do you. You enjoy those Noctoculus Jades. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in my business. So that's basically this quest done. And you can see I'm just rounding up little minor quests, but you got a taste for what I've been talking about. You run around this world, you find the little bits and treasures and doodads, do a few fights here and there, and the gameplay is just enjoyable. All of the mechanics work together nicely. One thing I don't appreciate is this is an actual online single player game. It's mostly single player. There is some co-op multiplayer available, but that's not really the focus of this game. And maybe another time I'll talk about why that's a great thing. And it's really nice to have a game like this around, and I really appreciate this game, and I hope that it continues to operate along these lines. It's really something nice. If you don't have a problem, if you have a gambling problem, stay away from this game. That's all. Okay, catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Hey Landa, give me my money.